The stately courthouse stands tall, a beacon of justice. Its grand architecture and imposing presence symbolize the rule of law and the promise of fairness. Or so it should be. The courtroom, with its solemn atmosphere and dramatic lighting, is meant to be a place where truth prevails and justice is served. But in San Antonio, Texas, a shadow of doubt hangs over the probate court. This shadow is not just a metaphor. It represents the growing mistrust and fear among the residents. Whispers of corruption and exploitation have plagued it for years. These whispers have grown louder, turning into cries for help and demands for accountability. This isn't just about legal technicalities. It's about the very essence of justice and the integrity of the legal system. It's about real people, real families, and their fight for fairness. Families who come to the courthouse seeking protection and end up feeling betrayed. Judge Kazen and Mary Werner are the masterminds, and Judge Veronica Vasquez and Judge Barbie Sharp-Zeldas are in a sense the workers. Almost appears to be similar to a pimp and his girls. You go there to find comfort, to only leave in dissatisfaction, realizing you spent your money to be tricked by Lady Justice. This is the story of a system seemingly designed to benefit the powerful at the expense of the vulnerable. A system where the scales of justice are tipped in favor of those with influence and resources. At the heart of this system are two figures, Judge Oscar Kazen and court-appointed guardian Mary C. Werner. Their roles are crucial, yet their actions have come under intense scrutiny. Their actions and the allegations against them paint a troubling picture. A picture of a legal system that may be failing those it is meant to protect. For years, families have accused them of exploiting their positions for personal gain. These accusations are not just isolated incidents, but part of a larger pattern of alleged misconduct. They allege that vulnerable individuals, often seniors, are placed under unnecessary guardianships. These guardianships, meant to protect, instead become a tool for exploitation. Their assets? Siphoned away through exorbitant fees and questionable transactions. Financial exploitation that leaves families devastated and seniors without the resources they need. The court, meant to protect the vulnerable, has become a hunting ground, a place where the powerful prey on the weak and justice is a distant dream. The very people entrusted to uphold the law are accused of twisting it for their own benefit. Legal professionals who should be champions of justice are seen as perpetrators of injustice. This is the story of their alleged victims. Victims who are fighting back, seeking to reclaim their rights and their dignity. This is the story of the fight for justice in San Antonio, Texas. A fight that continues as families and advocates rally together, demanding transparency, accountability, and above all, justice. Judge Oscar Kazen presides over the San Antonio, Texas probate courts. It's a powerful position, one that demands integrity and impartiality. Yet allegations against him suggest a different story. Judge Kazen was fired on July 19, 2016, but his supervisor, Judge Kelly Cross. She felt he was so much of a miscarriage of justice, she didn't want him ever returned back to the bench. Therefore, Judge Cross served his termination paper at home, and his wife Melissa had to accept the letter because he refused to come to the door. Kazen later returned to the bench in 2018 after Judge Tom Rickoff was allegedly tricked by you-know-who state guardian to run against Nelson W. Wolf for Bexar County Commissioner's Court? That's right, another Democratic. He is accused of enabling a system that benefits a select few, including Mary C. Werner. Werner, a court-appointed guardian, manages the affairs of individuals deemed incapable of doing so themselves. She's been appointed to a staggering 34 conservatorships, earning over $900,000 annually, and still have complete access to manipulate others while being able to shaking the claims of scrutiny with the protection Judge Kazen. Critics cry foul, pointing to potential conflicts of interest and a lack of transparency. The relationship between Kazen and Werner raises serious concerns. These two live on the same street in Shavano Park, Texas, where the mayor, Robert B. Werner, who is an attorney as well, is the husband of state guardian Mary C. Werner. He is considered to be a top-notch tax attorney with the ability to hide assets in plain sight. Their claim is that they didn't know of each other, but one would think that you might know the mayor of your city, especially when the mayor lives on the same street. Is it a case of mutual benefit, where appointments and favorable rulings grease the wheels of a lucrative system? The accusations are troubling: unnecessary guardianships, exorbitant fees, and assets mysteriously vanishing from estates. The people of San Antonio, Texas deserve answers, and most probate attorneys in San Antonio, Texas don't have the courage to even question this RICO crew out of fear of being sidelined by the courts. District Attorney Joe Gonzalez is too busy to investigate the matter due to him getting his share of the pie trying to hide the $90,000 annually car allowance. Sheriff Javier Salazar is out of the picture. He is under the directions of the Castro brothers to promote Sanctuary City and refuse to investigate the malfeasance that is done to the families that enter into these probate courts that is led by Judge Oscar Kazen and controlled by State Guardian Mary C. Werner. They deserve a system that prioritizes the well-being of its most vulnerable citizens, not the enrichment of a select few. The question remains, will justice prevail, or will the shadow of corruption continue to loom over the Bexar County Probate Court? Major James J. Kelly was a proud Tuskegee Airman. He dedicated his life to serving his country, fighting for freedom both at home and abroad. Major Kelly's commitment to his nation was unwavering, and his bravery in the face of adversity was nothing short of inspiring. But even heroes deserve peace in their final years. After a lifetime of sacrifice and service, one would expect that their final chapter would be one of tranquility and respect. And sadly, Major Kelly's story took a tragic turn in the San Antonio, Texas Probate Court. Instead of the honor and dignity he deserved, his legacy was marred by legal battles and court disputes. After a lifetime of service, Major Kelly passed away, leaving behind a legacy of courage and an estate meant for his family. His estate was not just a collection of assets, it was a testament to his life's work and dedication. But instead of a smooth transition, they were thrust into a nightmare. The family, already grieving the loss of their beloved patriarch, found themselves entangled in a web of legal complications. The court, meant to honor Major Kelly's memory, became a battleground. The very institution that should have safeguarded his wishes and protected his family's interests turned into a source of anguish and frustration. I was ready and willing to manage my father's estate. I had prepared myself for the responsibility, understanding the importance of preserving his legacy. I wanted to ensure his legacy was honored and his wishes respected. It was not just about the material possessions. It was about upholding the values and principles he stood for. But the court had other plans. Despite my readiness and willingness, they decided otherwise. They deemed Thomas unfit, citing a 28-year-old conviction, a decision that seemed both harsh and unjust, a mistake from his past that he had long put behind him. This conviction, which had no bearing on his current capabilities, was used as a pretext to deny him the right to manage his father's estate. This decision, critics argue, was a blatant attempt to wrest control of the estate away from the family. It was seen as an opportunistic move, exploiting a technicality to undermine the family's rightful claim. It was a move that reeked of injustice, a slap in the face to a man who had given so much for his country. Major Kelly deserved better. His family deserved better. The legacy of a hero should be honored, not tarnished by legal wrangling and bureaucratic red tape. This story serves as a stark reminder of the need for reform in the probate system to ensure that the final wishes of our heroes are respected and their families are treated with the dignity they deserve. Section 4. A Son Denied. Thomas Kelly's Struggle for Justice. I was denied my rightful place as executor of my father's estate. The reason? A 28-year-old conviction, a youthful indiscretion that had long been settled. That conviction was a $100 on insufficient fund check to a local food store, and now the system treats him like Charles Manson. Even though the sentence was only 12-month probation and restitution, it was a decision that defied logic and reeked of a deeper, more sinister motive. The court, under Judge Kazen's watchful eye, deemed me unfit. They disregarded my character, my commitment to my father, and my desire to honor his legacy. Instead, they chose to paint me as untrustworthy, using a past mistake to justify their actions. This wasn't about justice, it was about control. By sidelining me, the court paved the way for Mary C. Werner to step in as guardian. It was a familiar pattern. A family pushed aside their loved one's estate, treated as easy pickings. But I refused to be silenced. I knew my father deserved better. I knew my family deserved better. And so began my fight for justice, a fight against a system seemingly rigged against me, a fight to reclaim my father's legacy from the clutches of a court that had lost its way. Section 5. The Missing Flag, a symbol of disrespect. The American flag draped over Major Kelly's casket was more than just a piece of cloth. It represented a lifetime of service, a commitment to the ideals of freedom and democracy, and a deep love for his country. It was a symbol of his sacrifice, his dedication to his country, and the values he held dear. Major Kelly had served with honor, and the flag was a testament to his bravery and the ultimate price he paid. It was meant to be passed down through generations, a tangible reminder of a life well lived. The flag was not just a family heirloom, it was a piece of history, a connection to the past, and a beacon for future generations to understand the importance of service and sacrifice. But in a move that shocked and disgusted the Kelly family, the flag disappeared. It was a sudden and inexplicable loss that left the family reeling, searching for answers and justice. It vanished from their possession, allegedly sold off along with other estate assets under the watchful eye of the court-appointed guardian. This guardian, entrusted with the responsibility to protect the family's interests, had instead betrayed their trust. The loss of the flag cut deep. It was not just a material loss, but an emotional wound that reopened the grief of losing Major Kelly. The flag was a symbol of his legacy, and its disappearance felt like a second death. It was a blatant disregard for Major Kelly's service, a callous act that magnified the pain and injustice the family already felt. The flag's disappearance was a stark reminder of how easily the sacrifices of veterans can be forgotten or dismissed. It was as if the court, in its haste to enrich itself, had forgotten the very meaning of honor and respect. The legal system, which should have been a pillar of support, had instead become a source of further anguish and betrayal. The missing flag became a rallying cry for the Kelly family. They were determined to fight back, to seek justice, and to ensure that Major Kelly's memory was honored properly. It became a symbol of everything that was wrong with the Bexar County Probate Court: the disregard for veterans, the exploitation of families, and the systemic failures that allowed such injustices to occur. And the erosion of trust in a system meant to protect, not profit. The Kelly family's struggle highlighted the need for reform, for a legal system that truly serves the people and honors those who have served their country. The community rallied around the Kelly family, offering support and solidarity. Veterans groups, local organizations, and concerned citizens joined forces to demand accountability and change. The fight for the missing flag became a beacon of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a call to action for future generations to uphold the values of justice, honor, and respect.